Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at Bitcoin this morning and a bit of an overview of the market. So in a nutshell, I would be looking for Bitcoin to pull back into maybe as low as 39,500 or so, and that would be between today and early next week. There's a CME gap down there, which is fine, needs to be filled. Well, it doesn't need to be, but I think given where it is, it's not that far away, it should get filled. But really, now that we've crossed outside of this electric fence downward spiral of horrendous resistance, we're broken out of that now, so we don't particularly have to worry about it so long as we're above it. We're also above this area here, which again for the record at the moment is about 40,800. That's a horizontal top and support and resistance, basically, that goes back all the way from basically a year ago over that. So it's a very long historical level of support stroke resistance, and we're above it for the moment. I do expect us to come down to test 39,500 potentially, which is where the 10 exponential is, the 21 exponentials there, and over the beginning of next week we'll also have a centre of the Bollinger Band there. We've got to the 4 hourly though. This is where the battle is really taking place. Remember about 5-6 days ago I said, look, we've got a signal here on the Ichimoku cloud, this will lead to a big push up, and then we'll see where that takes us, whether it's up to this resistance or any of these moving averages there. So we got that big push up, but just during the period that it took for that to take place, so obviously we've got a positive cross alongside all the other components for the Ichimoku cloud. My favourite way of playing the Ichi cloud is this other signal that's now just been generated over the last 36 hours. This one's actually for a continuation of trend. Now bear in mind this is on a 4 hourly, so we're not expecting this to do a V-shaped recovery all the way up to 60 and 70,000 or whatever just off the back of this one signal, but it is a signal that we've got, and so we should expect it to play, which means that we can play this on an entry point and get an exit point for it as well. So we got the cross here that took place more or less at price action where it is right now, so 41,400, that's where the signal was generated, right? So at that price level. So for most that would mean, okay, we're going to enter this position, on here, but as we've applied other things to the chart, we're expecting a retest down to some of these moving averages, maybe even as low as the descending trend line here, which it might happen, it might not, but we are expecting a lower price. It's going to take a little bit to break this signal. We need to see this Chiku span touch price action, or we need to see this blue cross this red here. They're the two exit points, signals to get out of the trade. So what we'll be looking for is between now and, let's just measure this Chiku span to the price, between now and the next 2.5 days from right now, so a good portion of 3 days of price action now, we will be looking for the continuation. If we don't get continuation, it will probably break down and sweep the lows again, probably. But if we get continuation, it should take place almost immediately. I think with the CME gap being below us, we'll probably fill that and then we'll continue up. So that is a nice signal. It's one of my favourite signals, and what I'd be looking for is continuation. However, we've only got about 2.5 days to do that, about 50 hours or something like that. Not a great deal. 2 hours, 2 days, 12 hours for this to play out, and if it doesn't, and we get the exit point is a failed signal, and then we get out of the trade blindly. Me personally, because I do like this signal, I will take a long position on it, but I won't take it here. And what I'll do is I'll wait for a pullback, preferably to the CME gap to around 40,000. Ideally, if I can get in at 39,500, which is basically where the 10 exponential is at the moment down here, and then also next week, as in Monday, tomorrow, we'll probably see the Bollinger Band centre move up to that level too. So I'll be looking to enter a long position in around those. But that would be me. You guys do what you want to do. I'm basing it around that 4 hourly signal on the Ichimoku cloud, so that to me is a really good signal, and that suggests continuation. So if we're going to get continuation, where could this possibly go? Well, we've got a lot of resistance up here, Bollinger Band centre. We've also got the green 50 exponential. But if we think about the size of this move that took place, obviously that's in a comfortable range within the Bollinger Band. Breaking outside of here and pushing up beyond there, I mean, it can happen, and there's no reason why it wouldn't, but the absolute top of this would be 46,500 thereabouts. That's where we found this medium band of support before we broke down into the lower towards the 40,000. So this was the accumulation. This is what I thought would be the accumulation phase, and it broke down from there, but it doesn't mean that it's not still a relevant area. So we've just reclaimed the lower zone, 40,000, and the highest zone, 49,000, and the center zone around here, 46,000. So I think the next week, I honestly do think that next week we'll start with a little bit of a pullback, and then we'll work our way back up and potentially move all the way up to 46,000 or thereabouts. But a lot of this will be, we'll just have to sit tight and wait and see what happens next week. Obviously, there's other things outside of the chart, like Eastern Europe I suppose that's the only major variable at the moment, to be honest with you. Everything else I'm pretty confident has been written in to this chart. So just following up from the video I made last night about alts and altcoins and alt seasons and whatever, as we can see, some of these are in the positive yesterday, now they're all in the negative. This is what I'm expecting to happen across the board for altcoins, whether that's in a Bitcoin pump or a Bitcoin dump. I think in the short term, altcoins are going to feel the pain, and you can already see this at the moment. It's not dreadful, it's not horrendous pain, but it is pain all the same. And if we just have a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, it does look to me like it's about to start an uptrend, a proper one. So I do honestly think that Bitcoin dominance, it could push all the way up to much higher levels before it has a significant breakdown. It doesn't mean that altcoins will lose actual money versus Tether or dollars or whatever, but what it does mean is that the best thing to be in would be a Bitcoin position, largely a Bitcoin position. So that's where we are right now. I think we're going to make our way up to about 46% dominance, which again will mean that some sats from most coins will be drained. That's what it looks like to me. Everything else on this chart looks pretty awesome. We got a nice single sloped, no massive divergence, but heading up towards the 0 point on the MACD. Usually the sign of a kind of a bottom ready for a breakout. We've got bullish divergence been forming on the weekly here for quite a while now, and I think it is ready to make another move up. So to me, I would say Bitcoin is going to be a better place to be, and then altcoins will certainly have their day and their time to shine. And again, with every leg up, some altcoins I'm sure will outperform Bitcoin. Then you'll have some that come out of the shadows and then outperform Bitcoin. But based on what we're seeing here, and what we were talking about yesterday on that altcoin video, I think the safest place would be into a Bitcoin position, and you reverse into an altcoin position at major resistances. First of those will be about 46.5%, and arguably will get up to 52%, and that would be great. And that's where alt seasons will really begin, from these levels. Altcoins never cease to amaze me. Since the alt season began last January, it's been pretty epic, and they've refused to die off that easily. But it is only a matter of time before Bitcoin does start to make some big gains and leaves altcoins behind, and that's the sign of a healthy market, because that's what we want to do. We want to trade rotations as well as charts. We want to make the most of the entire market, and not try and just get clever and try and trade individuals. The bigger picture is usually a matter of trading Bitcoin and then trading out of Bitcoin into altcoins and back to Bitcoin again. That's usually the best way to do it. It's definitely been harder this last 12 months, but that's fine, because we more or less entered alts at their all-time lows in January and December 2020. So we still did do the best swing trade you could imagine, but prior to that, we have been trading the Bitcoin dominance quite successfully for rotation events. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out, but I do honestly think that Bitcoin is going to take some sats away from these coins over the best part of the year, to be honest with you, and we'll see where that goes. Right, well, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.